Welcome back to the college bets section of the IDP Plus channel, and we are happy to have you. We are on to week 3 of the college football season. We have been doing well this season. We are all up, all having a good time, loving building those bankrolls for Sunday now that pro football's back, so that's always nice to see. Got 3 bets today. We got the lock, we got the player prop, and we got the 3-leg parlay that we're throwing out there, plus 500 odds. Let's get into it. Welcome in. We are on to week 3. Hope everybody is having a good day and looking forward to some more awesome college football this weekend. Doing well with the bet so far. I know if you've been following the channel or if this is your first time, welcome in. Let's make some money. Let's build those bankrolls and let's get things going right away. So we'll start with the lock of the week. We are 3-0 with the lock of the week so far. We have nailed each and every one. Sometimes these spreads just speak to me. And the one speaking to me this week is kind of close to my heart because I am a huge Oklahoma Sooners college football fan. And I didn't love what I saw last week. So without further ado, the lock of the week this week is Tulane plus 13.5 against Oklahoma. Oklahoma last week was very, very suspect on offense with Jackson Arnold. They're missing 4 of their top receivers. Only one you can really trust there is Deion Burks, the transfer from Michigan State. And they're just having trouble. The O-line looks gross. The receivers as a whole are not in good shape. I mean, just overall, 4 of them aren't even going to play in this game. And then the running backs are really leaving a lot to be desired. So I think this is going to be a lot closer than the spread thinks. I think we're looking at a 10-point to 7-point game. I do think Oklahoma ends up winning. I would not be personally shocked if Tulane won this game outright because of what they did last week against Kansas State. They kind of gave the way Tulane, when they played Kansas State last week, just kind of gave the game away. And it was kind of unfortunate because I thought they should have won that game. And now they're heading into Oklahoma where they're going to have to put together a better game plan than what they did last week. They've got a heck of a running back in Hughes, which I think is going to be a major factor in this game. I do think there's also a factor with Oklahoma looking ahead to Tennessee next week. That's a top 10 game in Oklahoma. I think they're going to be looking ahead a little bit. And while I do think they need to figure some things out on offense, this game is going to be very, very tricky for them to try to figure it out on. I do think that we're going to see a little bit more from Oklahoma this week, but I still have my doubts that they're going to cover a spread. Them winning by 2 touchdowns is kind of crazy. The line opened this week at 14.5. It is down to 13.5. I'm saying to jump on that 13.5 now because I think by the time we get to actual kick and the injury report comes out fully for Oklahoma, I think the Sharps are going to be hammering that plus 13.5, and so it's going to go down. So right now, I'm telling you, I'll throw it back up on the screen. The lock of the week is Tulane plus 13.5. I'm 3-0 so far on these. We're going to make it 4-0, even though it's against my favorite team. So not a lot of bias in there, I swear. I would rather Oklahoma win this game by 4 touchdowns, but I just, truth to truth, got to be honest with myself and with all of you. I don't think they're going to cover this week. So the lock of the week, Tulane plus 13.5. All right, on to the prop of the week. We are going to give up on yardage. We've done the yardage thing for a while. It's not working out. Shadur Sanders looked gross last week. The week before that, we came up like 6 yards short. So we're just going to go with a touchdown lock, and that is Kyren Lacy from LSU to score an anytime touchdown. It's minus 140 on DraftKings right now. He scored 3 touchdowns last week. He scored 1 touchdown in that first game against USC in week 1. I think that he is the number 1 option for Garrett Nussmeier, and I think that minus 140 is a lock of all locks. I think we're not going to bother with the yardage because the lines are pretty good this year. I'm not going to lie. Last year, there was a lot of inefficiencies. This year, they're kind of either nailing the line or what's happening in the game is way off from what the line even is. So we're not even going to bother with it this week. We'll recalibrate the yardage bets, and we'll just go with an anytime touchdown. Kyron Lacy, the number 1 wide receiver for LSU, minus 140 to score an anytime touchdown. That's fine. Honestly, I would put that together with LSU to score. I'm sure that's plus money. I should have looked that up before I said it, but whatever. And I think you're going to be good there. I think LSU is going to win, and I think Kyren Lacy is going to score a touchdown. So that should be an easy bet to win as well. We're just going with easy bets this week, everyone. We're not going to try to make it complicated. The last couple weeks, I made it complicated. We haven't done a full sweep yet, so I'm looking for a full sweep, and I think this week is the week we get that full sweep. Okay, on to the plus 588 parlay. 3 teams. We have LSU on the money line at minus 250. I just mentioned it a second ago with Kyren Lacy. South Carolina is 2-0. LSU is playing at South Carolina. LSU is a better football team. They laid an egg against USC in week 1. I think they should have won that game. They kind of gave it away. They came back and won week 2 against Troy. This week, I think they go into South Carolina and kind of recalibrate the entire team as a whole. They're a touchdown favorite. I'm saying just put them on the money line so you don't have to worry about the weird cover at the end of the game. LSU is the first leg of this parlay, money line, book it. On to number 2, Memphis plus 6.5 versus Florida State. Now, Memphis is probably the best G5 team out there. I told everyone before the season to put money on Liberty to win the G5 spot into the playoff. I still think that's a good bet. Liberty hasn't looked great, but they still have the easiest schedule. Memphis is a good football team, though. They can legitimately get in with a loss. I think a lot of people penciled this as a loss, but Florida State's looked terrible the first 3 weeks. Well, they were off last week, but the first 2 weeks of the season, they have looked gross. It has not gone well. DJU is not the quarterback that Florida State was hoping for. The defense has not been great at all. I think Memphis is going to get in there, and I think they're going to win the game outright. But just to give yourself a little coverage, we're going to do plus 6.5. That's minus 108. We're going to throw that in to the parlay. That's plus like 140 odds at this point. But we're going to add our third leg, and that is going to put this over the top, and that is Florida money line over Texas A&M. This is at the Swamp. Now, the Swamp was not a place that Miami was scared of in week 1, but it should be a place that Texas A&M is scared of in week 3. Texas A&M does not look like it's good on offense. The defense maybe shows some things. I don't really love what I've seen. They lost against Notre Dame in a close one. Florida hasn't looked great. I did like what I've seen from DJ Lagway. They may have Graham Mertz back, but I'm not worried about either one, to be perfectly honest with you. This is kind of a put up or shut up game for Florida at home. I think that this is a game that it's a must win game for Florida, basically. I think the coach, Billy Napier, is going to get fired if they don't win this game. So I'm betting on narratives with this one. It's plus 154. They are not favored to win. It's minus 4.5 is the spread, but I'm going to go Florida to win this outright. I think this spread is off. I think that the narrative part of this game plays a factor in this. And with it being at the Swamp, I think Florida is going to come out and they're fighting for their coach's job. And I think Florida comes out and gets the job done. So recap that real quick. We have LSU has the first leg of the parlay to win at South Carolina. We have Memphis plus 6.5 versus Florida State. Personally, think they win the game outright, but I'll give us a little bit of cover in case Florida State tries to get cute at the end. And then Florida to win at home and save Billy Napier's job at plus 154. That leaves us with a 3-pick parlay, plus 584 on DraftKings. Go ahead and lock that in. We will put the 3 bets on the screen real quick just to wrap this up. We got Tulane plus 13.5 over Oklahoma at minus 112. Look, again, big fan of Oklahoma. Not sure that they're going to be able to cover the spread against Tulane. The prop of the week is Kyren Lacy for LSU to score an anytime touchdown, minus 140 on DraftKings. He scored 4 touchdowns so far in 2 games. You do the math. I think we're good for at least 1 in this one. Just go ahead and lock that one in. And then the 3-pick parlay, LSU money line, Memphis plus 6.5, Florida plus 154 on the money line. Lock them in. You can put those all in single bets if you want. You can take one of them out if you don't want. All of those are going to be plus money, so you're good either way. But if you put all 3 together, that's plus 584. We are looking to cash and do a clean sweep this week. So thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate you coming in. Let's get some money this week. Let's build our bankrolls up for the Sunday NFL slate, because what's better than going into a betting day than already having your bankroll built from what happened on Saturday. So without further ado, my name is Billy Mansell at Ombre Vendor on Twitter. Please come talk trash on my bets. I love hearing all of the feedback from anyone and everyone that wants to say something. DMs are always open as well. If you don't want to make it public, that's fine too. But please come say something. If not, we will see you back next week for week 4, where we will be back for more bets. The lock of the week has been a lock every single week. So at least that one, I have pretty good insight of how that one's going to go. But I think we're going to the full clean sweep this week. So see you next week. Thank you for tuning in. And
thank you for watching the IDP Plus YouTube network. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Be sure to tap the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new content.